once in a lifetime moments caught on camera. Firstly, this left everybody stunned who saw this. This person found a bird frozen in the sky, and I have no clue how. This man was casually jumping over a 1,000-foot cliff, and he was never even hooked in the whole time. Next, this man stopped on the side of the road to film this downpour of rain only coming from one spot. This cat couldn't have moved his paw more perfectly. This has to be one of the luckiest people ever. This biker landed right in between the spikes. Okay, but how did their shoes get tied together mid-game? This is absolutely amazing. This has to be the best shot in pool of all time. Finally, watch this man flip the bottle and also the cap. Once in a lifetime moments caught on camera. Firstly, this kid flips his pencil perfectly onto its back, and his reaction really shows how amazing this is. Next, watch this kayaker almost get swallowed by a whale in the sea. This is absolutely terrifying, but don't worry, she did survive safely. This man accidentally dropped his phone into the water. He probably thought he would never get this phone again. But thankfully, this whale was close by and retrieved it for him. I don't know how this is possible, but this man found a perfect square cloud in the sky. Finally, watch this kid perfectly throw his bottle out of the window into the trash can below him. This is what it looks like to be inside of. We all know the game that's been taking over the internet, Among Us, right? Well, this is how it would feel if you were put inside of the game. Well, that was pretty interesting, but this is how it would look if you were sucked inside of a black hole. Yeah, and that's probably why I'm scared of space. But this is how it would look if you were swimming at the bottom of the ocean. This is probably the most famous painting ever, the Starry Night, but what if I told you you could be inside of this painting? The man who predicted 2020. If there ever was a time traveler, it would be this man right here, Nostradamus. A lot of you all probably already know who this is, but if you don't, he was an astrologer and physician in the 1500s. In 1555, Nostradamus published a book with his prophecies in it predicting the future. And a lot of his predictions have already been accurate. For instance, he predicted Adolf Hitler and also 9/11, but those are just some of his predictions that came true. There's a lot more. But now, let's talk about his predictions for one of the craziest years ever, 2020. In one of his phrases, Nostradamus wrote this: there will be a twin year. And that twin year is 2020, you get it? He went on to say, from which will arise a queen, and the queen is Corona. But it comes from the east, and the east is China. And it will spread a plague in the darkness of night on a country with 7 hills. Italy has 7 hills, and it has been hit hard by this virus. He also talks about Trump being re-elected, part 2 coming soon. 2020 just got even crazier. Everybody remembers the Kraken, right? This huge giant squid? Well, something like that has just been discovered. This was said to be a rock near Antarctica on Google Maps. Well, scientists discovered that it's a giant squid over 300 feet long. So this creature was so big, they literally thought it was a rock. If you see a bird in the sky, it might not be real because robot birds are slowly taking over. These robot birds are used to scare other birds away. They thought of this in 2013, but in 2020, it's becoming an actual thing. So, I mean, they can control the sky all over the world. They recently just found sharks living in volcanoes. And yes, I'm being serious. Scientists dropped a camera in the Kavachi volcano, and they found sharks and other creatures living in there. And they said these animals in this volcano can detect when it's about to erupt. This one invention people are working on could change the world forever. It's a tiny hybrid robot. It's made from stem cells from a frog embryo. They want to put this in human bodies, and they will swim around your body to specific areas that are requiring medicine. David Blaine just broke a world record and went 25,000 feet in the air with just helium balloons. Well, did anybody know that Kanye West and his family can actually walk on water now? 2020 just got even crazier. This mysterious blob creature was just found in Texas. It stunned everybody that saw it because they had no clue what it was, and it honestly looks quite terrifying. The hottest and largest volcano was just discovered off the coast of Hawaii. It's called Puahonu, and these are just the tips of the volcano. Scientists discovered this volcano many years ago, but never knew how big it actually was. They found out it's an underwater volcano that is 171 miles long. Huge spider webs big enough to catch humans have been spotted around the USA. These webs are produced by a spider called the orb weaver. Scientists say they have never seen webs this big, and it's almost like they are trying to catch humans. Well, that's not it, because a new spider was just found in Australia. It was found in a recycling bin. It has 8 eyes and it jumps. So what are these spiders planning for 2020? You know how people said the opening of King Tut's tomb cursed 2020? Well, 59 Egyptian coffins were just found. They're more than 2,500 years old, and they've already started opening them. They said with them opening all these coffins will curse 2021. This is how things actually work. Firstly, I bet you've never seen this, but this is actually how baby jellyfish look like under a microscope. Did you ever wonder how they made Spider-Man's web sound effect? Well, they actually just made this sound by using shaving cream. This is how it actually looks when you rub your eye, and honestly, it feels pretty good. Did you ever wonder how they made movies look so realistic? Well, I'm about to show you how they did it with the Megalodon movie. That was pretty cool, but this is a close-up image of how your body actually sweats. I bet you've never seen this, but this is actually how your face was formed in the womb. And finally, this is how a ladybug takes off and flies. It's kind of like a transformer. You won't believe what this young boy did on a school bus when he felt like something was terribly wrong. This is the 10-year-old boy, Troy Luna. Troy had 8 siblings, and he was a very responsible boy. He always could sense when something was off. One day, when he was going into his 5th grade classroom, everything was going normal. His day at school was going great until dismissal happened. At 2:30 in the evening, when school dismissed, he always rode the same school bus home. So at 2:30 that day, he got on his normal school bus. But he felt like something was off when he got on. There was a different bus driver that day, and he smelled something that alarmed him. He wasn't too worried about the school bus driver because he thought it was just a substitute. But the smell on the school bus made him scared for his life. When the bus took off and was on the road, the school bus driver started to go at an insane speed limit. But that's not it. The school bus driver then passed almost all of the children's homes. With all the children crying on the bus, Troy thought to himself, we are getting kidnapped. He then did something so remarkable it will shock you. Come back for part 2. This is how things actually work. I've never seen anything like this. This is how a squid can change its color in the matter of seconds, and it honestly looks pretty cool. Did you know when you turn over your hand, the bones in your arm actually cross like this? If you actually hold onto your arm and twist your hand like this, you can actually feel your bones in your arm cross. This is how phone codes actually work on all phones. Let me show you some. Before typing a number in on your phone, type in *67 or #31#. The person you're calling won't know who's calling them. If you're ever in an area with poor connection, just call this number, *3370#, then call. This secret code could actually improve your network quality. This could be a lifesaver. This is how a starfish actually walks on land. They use their 15,000 tube feet to help them move. Although for having 15,000 feet, they do move very slow. I bet you would have never guessed how the raptor sound in Jurassic Park was made. Yeah, that sound from the raptors talking were actually turtles mating. If this does happen somehow, I'll still be posting daily on my Instagram. So go check my bio out and click right there. You won't believe what happened to this man that was bit by the most venomous snakes in the world every day for 30 years. This is Steve Ludwin, and he turned himself into a real-life science experiment. At the age of 17, Steve said to himself that he wanted to inject himself with snake venom, although he never got the courage to actually do this until a couple years later. So in 1988, Steve was ready and injected himself with one of the most venomous snake venoms in the world. But after he did this, Steve's hands started swelling and turning green. However, he did not want to go to the hospital because he was afraid they would take his snakes away. But Steve got so sick and the swelling was so bad he had to go. They said if he didn't go to the hospital at that time, he could be paralyzed or even dead. After he was fully healed, he was determined to swallow, inject, and even get bit by snakes for their venom. So from then on, Steve would get snake venom in his bloodstream every day. His girlfriend and many people thought he was crazy, but Steve had a hidden reason for what he was doing. After many years of Steve putting snake venom in his blood and being rushed to the hospital multiple times, he started to become immune to it. And he had some sort of superpower now. Come back for part 2. This true story of a young boy who remembered his past life will freak you out. A Syrian boy was born with a long red birthmark across his head. At 3 years old, when he was old enough to talk, he told his parents he remembered having a different life. He told his parents that he had been killed by an axe to the head. And the spot the young boy pointed at was his birthmark. And if that's not it, he told his parents the village that they lived at was the exact same one he used to live in. He said he even remembered his name, so the parents decided to ask an elder that lived there for quite some time. The old man that they asked said that person has been missing for years. But this is when it gets even more crazy. The boy told his parents that he remembered the name of the person that murdered him. The man the little boy said was still living in the village. So of course, like anybody would, they went and confronted the killer. When the family confronted the killer, his face went white, but he told them that he had no clue what they were talking about. After that, the young boy then took his parents to where he was buried at. They started digging at the spot the boy told them to, and then they found a skeleton with a wound to the head. Come back for part 2 to hear what happens next. This true story about a boy who claims he is a time traveler will freak you out. This is Noah, and he has claimed he has traveled back from the year 2030. But the real crazy thing about this is, it's not just that he told the future, but as he made all of his claims, he passed the lie detective test, not failing once. He claims he has risked his whole life to tell the people in the present what is going to happen in the future. One of the first things Noah stated was that Donald Trump will be re-elected in 2020. Also, Noah has made all of his claims in 2018 and has not been seen since. All that he is saying about the future seems fake, but his claims are adding up. Noah says that humans will make it to Mars by the year 2028. And SpaceX is actually sending their first ship to Mars in 2022. He then says by the year of 2028, we will have concrete evidence of aliens, and time travel will be released to the public. And very soon, the government is actually releasing a document about a UFO project. He then states that we will have implant chips put into our bodies that will benefit you. And Elon Musk is actually working on this right now. But it gets far too creepy when he meets himself of the present day. Come back for part 2. Movie scenes that went horribly wrong. When the evil witch was escaping in The Wizard of Oz, this scene went horribly wrong and you could not believe what happened. The witch's cape actually got stuck on the trap door and the fire heated up her makeup. Her makeup contained copper and she got second-degree burns that lasted weeks. This is the Wonka wash in Willy Wonka. It was used for cleaning the factory with candy foam. Sorry to break it to you, but this wasn't candy foam. This was actually foam from a fire extinguisher. From this, many of the actors got very sick from the Wonka wash. They actually had to cancel the movie for a couple weeks due to illness from the Wonka wash. Olivia Jackson had a terrible wreck while shooting Resident Evil. While filming a scene, Olivia Jackson at high speeds ran into a camera. And this scene caused life-threatening damages to Olivia Jackson. After this accident, her arm had to be amputated. She also had spinal injuries and many broken bones. While filming Back to the Future, Sherry Willers accidentally hit a pillar. And this caused her to fall 30 feet to the ground. And this caused her to have very serious injuries. Then she went on to sue the company. The most insane movie stunts ever done. In the movie Who Am I?, Jackie Chan slides down a skyscraper. He did this with no safety measures, no wires, no nets, just him sliding down 21 stories of glass. This was announced the most dangerous stunt ever done by an actor. After sliding, he then almost fell to his death, but luckily saved himself right on time. He only suffered a broken ankle from this stunt and made it out safely. This is truly a death-defying stunt. For Mission Impossible Fallout, Tom Cruise did a halo jump. Usually only specialized military personnel perform this. He was so high up in the sky, he had to get a personalized suit made for this scene. And if that's not enough, there was also a lightning storm brewing in the clouds below him that he had to go through. In the movie Live and Let Die, James Bond uses real crocodiles as stepping stools. This is absolutely terrifying. One wrong step and this scene could have ended horribly wrong. In Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indiana Jones went through this truck's windshield and then he went under it. This is actually all real with no edits. One wrong move could have ended his career. You won't believe how these movies looked on set. In The Life of Pi, the main actor and this tiger were basically on this raft the whole movie. And it honestly looks pretty cool. But really, it was just filmed on a huge pool and there was never really a tiger there. And when he was actually touching the tiger in the movie, it was actually just a blue doll with eyes that were scribbled in. In the movie San Andreas, you can see this huge tsunami about to hit this bridge. But wait, just look what it looks like after the green screen effects. In reality, they just threw a bucket of water onto a handmade bridge in front of a green screen. This scene is in an old Superman movie where they have Superman flying. And it honestly looks pretty good, but just wait till you see how they made it. He's really just hanging on some cords and they have men in full green costumes to make it look like he's actually flying. In one of the Avengers movies, when Thor and Hulk fought, to be honest, it all looks pretty realistic till you see how it actually looked on set. And that's actually how Hulk really looked, and there's Thor on top of him. When Drax is petting Rocket in Guardians of the Galaxy, he was actually petting a man in a green screen suit, and look how uncomfortable he looks. This is how things actually work. This is how an octopus walks when it's on land. It actually uses all of its legs to help it go faster. It's quite terrifying. This is how movies are made without special effects versus with special effects. This is behind the scenes of Skyscraper. You see The Rock running, then he takes off and just flies away. Versus the one with effects. It's crazy how much this could change a movie. This is how ants actually walk. They only use 3 legs at a time. Did you know the Star Wars blaster sound effect was actually made from a slinky? This is how a zipper works. It's a very simple design, but when it comes off, it's impossible to get back on. Oh, and this is how a walrus actually works out. They're pretty much humans. Movie bloopers that made the final cut. When Robin Williams played Mrs. Doubtfire in 1993, he nosedived into a cake and got it covered all over his face. And this is how it turned out. But this did not go as planned because the cream on Robin's face started to melt while filming. This was due to the lighting on set, so Robin had to do some improvisation. The directors made Robin do a couple more takes, but this one was just too iconic to leave out. In Casino Royale, Daniel Craig was not supposed to get out of the water. He said he did this because the sand shelf got in his way. And this was actually Eva Green's reaction. It was totally unscripted. A drunk extra was passing by a car and threw a beer can at John Malkovich's head. And this was not scripted at all. It made it into the final cut of being John Malkovich. The directors thought this was just too funny. In Rogue One, the robot K2SO slaps Luna right across the face. Luna did not expect this and he couldn't hold back his laughter. In the movie Clueless, Alicia Silverstone did not know how to pronounce the word Haitian, so the directors just had to go with it.
Rearrange some things, we could certainly party with the Haitians.
2020 just got even more crazier. Part 5. What is that? Yeah, this creature was just found recently in the US by sailors. They captured this photo at the perfect time when it jumped out of water, and no, it's not photoshopped. This image is now spreading all over the news and no one knows what it is. But scientists actually believe this could be the Loch Ness Monster. And you guessed it, The Simpsons predicted this. Engineers have made an AI implant that you can put into your brain. It said this chip put in your brain has mind control, and it was made to change people's moods. And they've already tested this out on the military and it actually works. This is the Smart Ring. It was made in 2020. It measures your body's temperature, pulse, and heart rate. And this ring can detect the coronavirus and other germs. People are already wearing this ring right now. There have been newly found deep blue holes off the coast of Florida. There are underwater sinkholes, and who knows what kind of creatures we can find down here. Oh yeah, and this could be the biggest spider ever found in Australia. There's a social media app taking over right now. To get it, just click the link in my bio. Movie bloopers that made the final cut. In the endgame, Robert Downey Jr. snuck snacks behind the scenes so much, the directors couldn't do anything about it anymore and just improvised it into the movie. And him snacking in the movie actually became part of his character. So when you see him drinking or snacking in the movie, it's actually not scripted. The iconic scene in the Titanic when Leo says, "I'm the king of the world," he just said it in the moment. It was not scripted. And that scene was legendary. In The Hobbit, Gandalf consistently kept hitting his head on objects. This was actually not planned. The directors just kept it in here because they thought it was too funny. This fight was the most anticipated fight in Indiana Jones. It was supposed to take 3 months to shoot and be the best movie fight ever. But the fight actually only took a couple seconds because Harrison Ford actually had a terrible fever. Instead of fighting, he just whipped out his gun and shot him. When Chris Pratt dropped the Infinity Stone in Guardians of the Galaxy, it was actually just totally by accident. They just left it in the cut.